so one way that God has impacted my life, I think that when we talk about God impacting our life, a lot of people think about like these big, massive, life-changing moments where God's come down and like smacked them upside the head. And I think that can happen, but I think that for me, a lot of the times, impacting God, or God impacting me, has happened in the small things. And as I've looked throughout how he's worked in my life in various different ways, how he's organized this little detail and this little detail and this little detail to make it all work for his plan, I think that that's where God's impacted me the most. And for example, when I chose my school, Eternity Bible College, the way that it came about was this really crazy like series of coincidences that just all accumulated into me knowing that this was a school that God wanted me to go to. So I had originally planned on going to a local school called William Jessup University, and I was like 90% done with the application process. I had filled out the whole application. I had spent the past 3 years talking to the academic advisor there. I had an academic plan for moving from American River College to William Jessup University. I had everything all laid out for me to go to William Jessup University. And this had been the plan for the past 3 years, I think, at that time. And I hadn't turned in my application because I hadn't done two things. I hadn't chosen a major, and I hadn't filled out my essay for applying. And the reason I hadn't chosen my major yet was because I was like talking to God and praying and trying to figure out what major he wanted me to do. And he was silent for like 2 months. And it was driving me crazy because I was like, hello, I kind of need to get this done. It kind of needs to be turned in. You know, I would like some sort of feedback somewhere about what it is that I'm supposed to be studying in school. I mean, this is a pretty big decision. So I spent a couple months praying, asking, waiting, and hearing nothing. Around Christmas time, my friend Audrey gave me a book called Crazy Love, written by Francis Chan. And I read the book in like a week. I'd heard about it, I knew about it, I was excited to read it, and I read it pretty quickly. It was a good book. I liked it. And on the back of the book, I flipped it over like I do with a lot of different books, and I read the biography of Francis Chan. And it talked about how he was a pastor at Cornerstone and about how he'd started this school, Eternity Bible College. Just randomly mentioned on the back of this book. And I went, that's interesting. I'll check it out. You know, just Google it real quick, pull up the website, start reading. And I ended up spending the next 2 days reading everything I could find on this school. Because I was just so fascinated by their message, by their passion for learning, by their mission, by everything that they talked about. I was like, this school is really, really great. And so I really felt like at the end of those 2 days, God was saying, the reason I haven't told you what you're supposed to be majoring in is because the plan that you've had for the past 3 years for school hasn't been correct. That hasn't been the plan that I have for you. The plan that I have for you is to go to this other school. And at the time, the school did not offer online learning. So I was thinking that I was going to now have to pack everything up and move down there. And I was like, okay, hold up, God. Because I had planned to stay in the area. Like, my plan was not to move. Like, I didn't want to go far away from my family, from my friends, for my comforts. Like, that was not my plan. But, I mean, when it comes down to you and God and you kind of wrestle with him, you always lose. So that's just kind of how it ends up working, is you lose. And so I went, okay, I'll apply. And amazingly, just like a few months later, a few months after I was accepted into the school, I was told that the school was opening up distance learning. So I went, oh, so that was your plan. It wasn't so much that you wanted me to move down there. It was that you wanted me to go to this school. And you were going to provide the way, and he did, for me to stay with my family and my friends. And to stay with the relationships that I built. And so that's exactly what happened. I mean, I'm a distance education student going to this school, and I love it. I've loved it since I started, and I still absolutely love it. And, you know, one of the verses in the Bible that really speaks to me when I think about this story is in Proverbs 3:5 and or 3:6, Proverbs 3:6, and it is, "Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take." As I was praying and asking Him what major to major in, His will was that I would do something completely different, and by seeking Him and by following what He had planned for me, the plan and the direction that my life has taken has been 100 times better, maybe even 1,000,000 times better than if I'd done it my way. And so that's one way that God has impacted my life through the various different life decisions that I've had to make.